I believe that would make a dozen in the last 24 hours, Megan.
Yes, they are piling on. This is the fastest that we've seen since in the last 3 weeks, since the disastrous debate. A lot of these members are worried about their own reelections, and they're worried about losing the House, or not winning back the House majority as they had hoped, and losing the Senate. So this isn't just about the presidential campaign anymore.
Well, it's interesting when we start putting all the headlines together, because it takes a lot of stories to kind of build the composite here of what's really going on behind the scenes. Wendy, we understand Kamala Harris will be addressing donors now, that Joe Biden is in fact talking with family members about this, that members of the cabinet, the call coming from inside the House, are talking about how to convince the president of this now. Are we within days of a decision or an announcement?
Well, we don't know. The thing is that all those headlines that you accurately reported in that setup have all been denied by the Biden campaign and the White House, but they've been denying that he's old, too. I mean, they've been denying that he's unable to finish the campaign and to be president for another 4 years. So it's kind of hard to tell. Kamala Harris, the vice president, the heir apparent to the nomination if Biden were to step aside. She did meet with donors today, but apparently her message was, we're in this to win it together. Let's all stick together. That's the public message. Not quite sure what she might have said. She's got a really interesting row to hoe, because she has to remain the loyal lieutenant until she is not the loyal lieutenant, until she actually has an opportunity to step up. So it's difficult for a politician like herself who really does want to be in the Oval Office someday.
Well, of course, Kamala Harris has been able to be out and about for the last several days while Joe Biden has been isolating in Delaware. And she spoke yesterday during a campaign event and had this to say about former President Donald Trump just hours before his RNC speech.
You cannot claim you stand for unity if you are pushing an agenda that deprives whole groups of Americans of basic freedoms, opportunity, and dignity. You cannot claim you stand for unity if you are intent on taking reproductive freedoms from the people of America and the women of America. And you cannot claim to be for unity when your entire economic agenda is designed to prioritize billionaires and big corporations over the middle class.
So, Wendy, she's clearly trying to focus this on Donald Trump instead of Joe Biden after Donald Trump spoke at the RNC last night. Does it feel like it's actually Donald Trump that is being focused on, or his policies that were outlined over the course of the last week at all?
Well, the White House and the campaign are desperately trying to make it about Donald Trump, but every time they do, even with Donald Trump's stem winder of a speech last night, the headlines are still mostly about, is he in or is he out? Is Joe Biden in or is he out? The beneficial thing for Kamala Harris, as I was saying earlier, is that she is doing robust, vigorous, athletic campaigning. She is a prosecutor. She's an able prosecutor, and she was really making a case there, which Joe Biden, with his raspy voice, is unable to make. So she's sort of serving two aims there at the same time, where she's showing herself as an able candidate, yet being loyal in taking it to Donald Trump. And Donald Trump is still out there being Donald Trump. So
two of the most notable names that we've heard added to the list calling for Joe Biden to step down, certainly in the past couple of days, would be Adam Schiff and then today Zoe Lofgren, both coming out of the Pelosi camp here, allies, proteges of Nancy Pelosi. Is she, in the end, the one to orchestrate this?
She is probably the strongest voice orchestrating this behind the scenes. She is a masterful politician, and she knows how to win. She does not like to lose. And what I think she is seeing is that they are going to lose the House with Joe Biden at the top of the ticket. So she's really working behind the scenes. We've seen many of her allies come out in the past several days, but she's careful about it. She herself is giving kind of more cryptic comments, like we saw last week on an MSNBC interview, where she has not expressly said the president should step aside, but she knows how to work the back channels to make that happen.